All right, let's talk about Travis Kelce, who, I made a video on this channel, which I've then had to put some, additional information in the comments due to how, at first, when that injury happened, I was thinking, man, this is looking rough. I thought he might be out for an extended period of time. A lot of times those injuries do tend to be serious, the non-contact injuries. And it's also worth mentioning, we still don't know exactly to what extent will this injury hurt Kelce. It could still be a serious injury for the future because, as Tony Romo brought up in the broadcast, sometimes you're good to go for the rest of the day, but then it starts swelling, and then it takes time to, get back to full health. And so when he came back into the game, part of me was like, I don't know if this is a good idea, to be honest. I was kind of concerned about the idea, just because, are you really going to risk Travis Kelce, bringing Kelce back into the game here? Sure, you would like to win this football game. A football game is important, but at the same time, you don't want to risk having long-term injuries. Well, this is why you bring him back, because I don't know if they win this game without him. He was fantastic, and let's talk about what he was able to do so well. Let's start off with this play, because, listen, you definitely could make the argument if you wanted that, okay, sure, have him out there, but don't have him be, the key guy. Have him be a decoy. Have him hopefully get some double teams here and there, hopefully get some extra attention, make that happen. Well, on this play, maybe that's even the plan, I don't know, but again, man coverage, so at the end of the day, it's 5 one-on-one matchups. If you're Mahomes, just look at the guy you like best and, make a throw in that direction. Usually that is Kelce. He is usually the guy getting open here. It's a 3rd down and 7, so obviously very important play. Up 7 points, want to be able to keep this drive going. As you see, Kelce's going to start going over the middle, and you see as he's cutting, look at the defensive player who's covering him, and look at how far his hips are turned towards the top of the screen. So he's going to have to completely turn around and get back towards the bottom of the screen while Kelce's already in that motion. On top of it, Kelce does cut so well that he is able to pick up a decent amount of space. However, Mahomes, he had to kind of scramble up to make the throw, and then the defender was kind of in his face, so he did not make his best throw. This was not a perfect throw from Mahomes. You are used to seeing Mahomes make some perfect throws. Well, not here. However, watch Kelce go up and make that grab. Eventually, the ball did come out, but it came out after Kelce was down, so it was ruled a catch and a completion to pick up the 1st down. Also heading over here, to me, this is the insane value of Travis Kelce. Because, listen, okay, on that last play, they went to Kelce. On this play, though, they're like, all right, let's use Kelce as a decoy here. He's a purely a decoy. There's 2 eligible receivers, technically 3 eligible receivers lined up to the offense's left. One of them is a halfback, though, who, he's even going to be blocking on this play. So really 2 eligible receivers on that side of the field. You're having Kelce kind of run underneath. The other receiver is going to run towards the end zone. Idea is to get a one-on-one matchup in the end zone. As you see, Kelce, the Vikings dropped back in the coverage. They were playing zone. It was a disguise as though they weren't. Mahomes is going to scramble up. He could try and run, but again, 3rd down and 8, and it's zone coverage. So for Minnesota, they have several different players watching Mahomes, including that Viking defender who's watching Mahomes and going to step up. So, okay, makes sense, right? You can't let Mahomes just run for the 1st down. He is someone who requires some extra attention. He can run very well, so you have to move in. But who else notices this is Travis Kelce. That's where he is. He sees this developing and says, hey, wait a second. There might be a window for Mahomes to be able to hit me. As you see, somehow Mahomes also notices all of this. He's able to hit Kelce, and they pick up that 1st down on 3rd down and 8. I mean, these are just insanely good plays by Travis Kelce and by Patrick Mahomes. We've become accustomed to just seeing these types of plays happen, but these are not plays that just happen. These are plays that did happen in this game, which is incredible, especially the fact that Kelce's doing this with while not being 100%. And this is probably the argument why you do keep him in. We know the argument why you wouldn't keep him in, but the argument why you put him in, even if he's not physically what you're used to seeing, is A, he's still probably physically going to be better than most other tight ends, and B, even if he isn't, just the mental side of things and the connection he has with Mahomes and just the way he sees the game is such a positive aspect to add to your team that you want to make sure he's on the field as much as possible, even if he isn't 100%. Like heading over here, this is another example of that, where it's not going to seem like it's anything crazy, but it's these little things that you see Kelce do that very few other players do, I think, but at least not as consistently as him. Where, again, way it starts off is simple. You have two receivers run routes, getting, trying to push the Minnesota defenders further deep. Kelce runs underneath. Hopefully he gets open. And watch, as you see, Mahomes takes the snap, fires immediately towards Kelce, and Kelce is open. But one of the things that Kelce did that, again, not other players do is he turned around instantly. He didn't run to the end zone and then turn around. He knows that, or at least he feels like, if he stays right here and makes the catch, he'll get into the end zone. He'll find a way to make that happen. He doesn't need to be in the end zone right now. He can find his way there. I also do have to say, for Minnesota, I mean, this is just something, we've said this a million times, right? We've constantly been saying, hey, other teams, if you're playing the Kansas City Chiefs, Travis Kelce is not a tight end. Yes, he plays tight end. Yes, that's his position. He is different. He is a unique tight end. He is a receiver. You treat him as such, and not just as a receiver. You treat him as like an elite receiver. You treat him like how you treat Justin Jefferson when he lines, up in the slot. Although teams sometimes don't even play Jefferson the way you should. You don't put safeties on him. You don't put linebackers on him unless it's like a very unique case, like the Tampa Bay with Levante David in the Super Bowl or something like that. For the most part, you make sure that you're putting a corner on him and you're putting someone else on him, right? And right now, Minnesota has nobody on him. As you see, Mahomes flips it to Kelce, who easily gets into the end zone for a touchdown. And it's one of those things where it's like, you want to crush Minnesota for it and say, hey, guys, what are you doing? But like, every team does this. Like, literally every team, no matter what, somehow Kelce finds a way to make this stuff happen. And obviously, it's great credit to Andy Reid, great credit to Mahomes, and great credit to Kelce for still consistently finding ways to not give him the toughest matchups. And even when he has tough matchups, he can obviously still win, but there's plenty of times when he's just able to win this way, and this is the value of a Travis Kelce, even if he isn't 100%. So yeah, I mean, as a whole, listen, really big win for Kansas City. They end up winning by 7. A little bit of help potentially from the refs, but, let's be honest, some people would say that's a trend with Kansas City. I don't know if that's exactly how that works, but regardless, you got the win, and again, just goes to show the value of Travis Kelce, in my opinion. So yeah, that's what I think. What do you think? Let me know in the comments below. Always love hearing from you, and of course, as always, thanks for watching.